So we've just gone through an election, and how does it impact your life? Well, we don't know yet, but what we do know is that we can control some things in our lives. So what I want to encourage you is to expand and open up and try different things and maybe think a little bit less about what's happening now with the election and think about your life and what you're going to do and going forward. So I think it's important to start looking into things as side hustles, ways to create a passive income. And one of the number one things I think is actually YouTube. So what you're watching right now to me is one of the number one ways that you could create a passive income. You can monetize your channel. You can make money off ad revenue. It's not limited there, but that is a start. So how do you start? If you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you're thinking about this right now, I encourage you to start now. So let me give you an example. If you're really lost, you're just not sure where to start, what I would say is think of 3 things that you know well. This is not a great picture, but 3 things that you know well. And you can get yourself a little pad of paper and a pen. That's what I do with everything. And in those little bubbles, write down 3 things that you know well. Because if you're starting a channel, you don't want to start a channel about something that you don't even know well, or that, just to start a channel just for fun, just putting random things in there. Really focus on where you're going with the channel. So you can go to different YouTube channels as well and see if those topics are talked about. That's a great way to kind of figure out whether it's something you might even want to pursue. Once you figure out the 3 things that you know well, for each one of those, create a separate piece of paper. This is not a great picture here. Create a bubble and then start asking questions around the bubble. The who, what, where, when, why. Okay, those type of things. Let me give an example. Let's say you're into trees. You love trees, and you're thinking, is there even a market to talk about trees on YouTube? Well, people talk about everything on YouTube. Why not? But you're going to have to research that part of it. Half of it is research. So if you're into trees, and I wrote down some questions, you might ask something in your video about it and say, if I have a sick tree, what should I do? Maybe somebody's looking that up. You can answer that question. Maybe something like, what are the best trees to plant that shed little? Where's the best place to buy a tree? Why does my tree look dead at the bark? So we know that YouTube is a social media site, but it's also a place where people look for information. So if you've got a YouTube channel and you're sharing information, you're going to start building an audience. And once you start building an audience, they start following you. Once they start following you, you get more and more subscribers. When you reach the criteria of 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize your channel. So again, I encourage you, if you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, I would suggest start right now and do some of the methods that I showed you to start your channel. Be sure to check out my channel for other videos just like this. See you guys in the next one.